Ready for letting them stay in the game. See my route took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just trying not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Dallas Cowboys. So with that, let's head over to the heart of Texas. Massive AT&T Stadium in Arlington. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D, as their guys will do battle with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, happy to be with you. And CD, as we get this thing going, give the folks at home something to keep their eye on.
The running game for both teams, because I think this is going to be an old-fashioned, old-school type of a game. Physical, who wins up front, who runs the ball the best and controls the clock, they will come out the victor.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. And a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
Now they'll run it on the toss. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Second down and inches. And he's got his man on the out route. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
8 read. Stop your body.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Looking to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
The Steelers send out their punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. This is taken at the 23. It's a net of 40 there. A punt of 48 and a return of 8. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here are the Cowboys under head coach Jason Garrett as they get set for their first opportunity. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnists write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards, the final tally.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Go now. 15 line. 15 line. Rip left. Rip left. Sit up. Shoot.
Now a handoff looking right. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
On the ready.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Right now.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. We're scoreless after 1. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here.
Ready up. 59. Mike is cut. 59. Let's go. Ready, ready.
They'll look to throw here. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A good-looking drive for the Cowboys so far. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
Come on, set. 60 or.
Touchdown, defense.
Set, go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Come. 5.
On play action, they'll throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They'll drop the throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Here we go. 60 outlaw.
They'll set up a throw. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12.
You see me? You see me? They can't stop me out here.
2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll check in with our Jonathan Coachman. He'll have highlights and analysis of the first half, and our highlights will likely be on the defensive side of the football here. Scoreless game. This will be caught at about the 6. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him. They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So on 4th down, Jason Garrett sends in his field goal unit from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is indeed good. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Football going over to the Pittsburgh Steelers here. And you think about 2019 coming up. The Killer Bees, it's now just down to the Killer Bees, singular, because you got Le'Veon Bell, he's in New York, Antonio Brown in Oakland, and Ben Roethlisberger, he's the one that's left, Charles.
I keep hearing from my scouts around the league that Ben Roethlisberger's having a heck of a camp. It's a lot quieter in Pittsburgh, as you might imagine, right? A lot of the hubbub has died down, but he's playing well. And we saw last year James Conner filled in quite capably, went to the Pro Bowl in Le'Veon Bell's stead. And Juju Smith-Schuster, he was the number 2 receiver for Pittsburgh last year. Now he has to become the number 1 with Antonio Brown in Oakland. We'll see how he handles that, but the talent is there. And I love Jalen Samuels, a hybrid-type player out of the backfield in the slot. Dante Moncrief and James Washington have to make the biggest jumps out on the perimeter in order for Pittsburgh to still operate as they have on offense.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. He'll look to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Steelers send out their punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Set 91. Ready?
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he will find his man on the outside. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
2nd and 2. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half.
Break. 58, 58, Mike. Too little, Captain.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been all about the defense. Just a lone field goal in that first half. And as a result, not too much available in terms of highlights. But that's okay. We've got a full half to go. And to bring it your way, let's get back out to Brandon and Charles.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They're going to look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now back to throw. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
And defensively, a dime look here. 6 DBs on 3rd and 12.
No surprise at all.
He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Oh, what a play on. So this is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Back to throw now in his own end zone. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, Tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner, and with good timing, you get a completion, as we just saw there.
Here we go. 10 logo.
Hey, watch the screen.
And go.
Hey, watch it.
Shoot.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is run out on this third quarter of play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. They'll set up to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So now the Steelers down by a field goal. And time, a huge factor. Plenty of time here. They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. Back to throw. Room here to run. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw, and it'll wind up being intercepted.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a 1st down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Right there. It's our time. It's our time. Out.
And to give this time to the tailback. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he hit the line. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. And he'll give it here to his running back. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And this one is right down the middle. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. I tell you what, it's kind of hard to imagine. They have not scored a single point, and yet they're in this position, a touchdown drive here, and they're in the lead. Normally, when you have 0 on your side of the ledger on the scoreboard, you're a little bit discouraged. But when they look over and see their opponents, they don't see a number that's way out there. They don't see a number they can't attain. In fact, they can get it right here on this drive and potentially take the lead. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fade. Now the Steelers hustling up to the line of scrimmage. He's back to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
A 9-yard gain on the play. And it's third down.
And the Steelers on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. Back to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Well, these corners, I tell you, they've done excellent work all game long. They remind me of guys in the past who just said, hey, throw it out here 100 times. Nothing good is going to happen. And if you throw it in the wrong place, I'll take it the other way. So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. So they had to take the shot there. Obviously, that was pretty much it, their last chance. No other play for them, right? I mean, there's no other choice. It's not like you can have some strategy move, right? Punt it away and hope it. No, that's what they had to do. Right now, that offensive unit, they're pretty discouraged on the sidelines. They're going to feel like they let the team down in that situation, but they were in a tough spot to begin with. And with no timeouts now, they just need a miracle. Yeah, an absolute miracle. If the team that has the ball, just find a way to run out the clock, take care of the ball, and go home a winner.
Ready? 60 outlaw.
Watch the curl. Watch the curls. Check the hot read.
The Cowboys on their way to victory as they take a knee.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Steelers' 27-yard line.
Down. 70. Indy.
59. You got double up. No. Off.
Hit it.
Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it.
A loss of a yard. It's now 3rd and 13.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And not all W's are created equal, CD, and this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. But the defense, they carried them in a big way.
Yeah, look, the offense, obviously stuff to work on, but they did enough, and the defense carried the load.
But you know what they say, it's always fun to work on things if it didn't go well in your game with a victory in your pocket. And that's what they've got going forward.
So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Cowboys as we sign off and say so long from Arlington.